guys, so today I'm going to be doing the Inside Out book tag, and I was tagged by Brittany Reads on Twitter and YouTube. And basically this is a tag based on the Pixar movie Inside Out that came out I think maybe like 2 years ago? Yeah, I think it was about 2 years ago that it came out, or maybe last year. I saw it in the movie theater and I was pretty okay about it. It was fun, it was cute. I really like Mindy Kaling, so she was like the real reason I went to go see it. Anyway, so this is going to be the Inside Out book tag, and let's get right into the questions. Okay, so the first question is based on the character Joy, and it is, what book brings you the most joy? And so for this book I chose A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. And basically this book is told in 14 different perspectives, and it is about a girl and a boy, and they are both starting out in college, and they meet in one of their classes and they kind of start to build this friendship, and they're kind of crushing on each other, and all these viewpoints are also told in their perspectives as well, but it's also told in other people's perspectives that come across these two characters, and they kind of narrate their story towards love. What really drew me in was the cover. The cover is so pretty, and it's just a fun light read, and it brought me a lot of joy, and it just made me really happy. Like, it was a really happy light book. And the next question is based on the character Disgust, and it is, what book grossed you out the most? And for this question I don't really have a book that grossed me out the most. I don't really read a lot of like gross books, like, you know, I don't know, like just like gross topics. I'm not really sure what book I would put in this category, so I don't really have a book, and I'm not really the type to get grossed out super easily. Like, I used to like watching Fear Factor, so I'm not like super grossed out by books. Okay, so the third question is based on the character Fear, and it is, what book scared you the most? And the book I chose for this one is Freeze Tag by Caroline B. Cooney, and this book is one that actually my best friend Tiffany recommended to me like years ago. Like, I think we might have been like 7th grade, maybe, and this book is a very like super scary paranormal book. Basically it's about these kids, and they play this game Freeze Tag, which I'm sure a lot of kids have played before, but in this book the freeze tag is a little different, because one of the girls, who's kind of an outsider of this, you know, group of friends, she has these weird powers that when they play freeze tag and she touches someone, then the person freezes in real life, like actually freezes. And so this book totally scared me when I first read it, and even like I think I read it a few times and it scared me every single time. And it's really terrifying. I totally recommend it to everyone. It is such a good book. Okay, so for the fourth question, it is based on the character Sadness, and the question is, what book made you cry the most? And I have 2 books for this question. The first book is We Are Okay by Nina LaCour, and I just recently read this book this year. Actually, both of the books that I'm going to mention I read this year. And this book is about a girl who has gone through a lot of loss in her life and has gone through something kind of life-changing for her. And she moves away to college across the country. She's from California, and she moves all the way to New York on the East Coast. And a year later from that loss and moving away to college, her best friend from her hometown comes back, and she is confronted with her past and has to confront a lot of the things that she left behind. And this book totally made me cry. Like, the ending made me cry, and it was kind of more happy tears at the end, because the book ends kind of happy on a good note, and I loved it. The character got exactly what I wanted her to get, and I'm just like, this book was so good. And it also made me cry like really sad tears, because like I could really relate to a lot of the things in this book, and a lot of her loss I could relate to as well. And so this book just kind of, you know, tugged at my heartstrings. It was really sweet and really sad, and I loved it so much. The second part to that question is going to go to Crooked Kingdom, and I cried so much while reading this book. Like, I didn't really cry in Six of Crows, like it didn't really make me cry, but then this book like completely made me cry. Like, Wyland's parts, oh my gosh, I think I cried almost every time that Wyland was like, it was his point of view, I cried. It was just like, Oh my gosh, I love Wylan so much. And even Kaz made me cry, and Inez made me cry, and Nina and Matthias and Jesper, and just they all seriously made me cry. And so this book, I was really surprised that I was so emotional, but I love this book and I love the characters, and it's just, oh, it's my baby. I love it. The fifth and final question goes to the character Anger, and this question is, what book pissed you off? And I think this is kind of an easy answer, because this book pissed me off so much. I cannot stop talking about it. I read this when it first came out. Like, the day it came out, I called my local bookstore and I asked them if they had it, and they did, and I picked it up the same day, and I read it like literally that night, and I was so angry. I was so angry, and I think everyone knows why I was so angry. I'm pretty sure everyone is on the same page, because I really liked Divergent and I really liked Insurgent. Like, those two first books I really liked. I know a lot of people don't really like Insurgent, but I really enjoyed it. And then you get to Allegiant, and this was like the biggest letdown in my entire life. And I've had a lot of letdowns. So this book just really, just everything about it, not even just the ending, like the entire book was a letdown. It literally makes me so angry because I loved Divergent. I loved it so much more than I loved The Hunger Games. And then I read it and I was like, yes. And then Allegiant, so excited, and then just completely let down. So this definitely was the book that made me the angriest in my entire life. Alright, so that was the Inside Out book tag, so thank you to Brittany Reads for tagging me in this. I've never been tagged before in an actual, like, tag video, so that's really exciting. I'm going to try and think of some people to leave tagged down below. I don't know too many people, so it probably won't be a very long list, but, you know, feel free to make this tag video if you want to. I totally tag you. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!